Very good morning to all. Let me see in this session about phase change, particularly boiling regions and the introduction to heat exchangers. So heat exchangers are the device that facilitate heat transfer between two or more fluids. The fluid, what they mean here is it may be water, air or gas at different temperature while keeping them from mixing without mixing. Heat transfer in heat exchanger involves convection in each fluid and conduction through the wall responding the fluids. This basic we know already. So this is the conduction when fluid traveling between the metal which is carrying the heat is conduction. So the heat transfer from metal to fluid is convection, that we know already. So Cp is specific heat, thermal conductivity is K, and delta T is change in temperature. This is what the QmCp delta T. So shell and there are several types of heat exchangers. Shell and tube type heat exchanger, boilers, cooling towers and car radiator. These are the example of the study of phase change. So coming to the classification of heat exchanger, direct type heat exchanger and indirect type heat exchanger. In the direct type heat exchanger, spray cooling is there, cooling towers are there. These two are highly applicable in the thermal power plants. So in the thermal power plant, after expanding the gas stage of that water in the turbine, it has to be let out in as a fluid form in the atmosphere to maintain the ecosystem. So they are using spray cooling, either spray cooling or cooling tower based on the capacity or hotness of the gas. Or when it is too hot, they use cooling tower. Stage by stage they cool it and pour it on the ground. Or they reuse it based on the capacity. And indirect contact. So direct transfer of heat and storage type and fluidized bed. So these are the indirect contact. These are used in the research or in the boilers wherever applicable. And based on surface temperature, so the compact heat exchanger and non-compact heat exchanger, these two types are the surface compactness. Based on surface compactness, these two are the heat exchangers. So based on the flow arrangement, so there are several types. So single pass and multi-pass. In the single pass, counter flow, parallel flow. The counter flow and parallel flow has the several types, where that one is placed, extended and shell and tube. So many of the industry for the or minimum level of heat transfer between 300 to 500 degrees centigrade, they use shell and tube. And that there are several types in the plates, U type, Z type and spiral type. So these are for the research purpose based on the requirement and application. Coming to the cross flow, so there are three types of the mixed flow and mixed unmixed flow, unmixed and unmixed flow. So these categories we can see in our heat and mass transfer data book clearly, and its sketches and its related formulas and its related matrices values in the HMD data book. This is about the single pass heat exchangers. Coming to the multi-pass heat exchanger, shell and tube and plate. In the shell and tube, there are four types are there: overall parallel flow, overall counter flow, and split flow and divided flow. And in case of multi-pass plate type, there are expel plate and different process. So these two are the major types of this plate type multi-pass heat exchangers. So these are the heat exchanger types. And coming to the another based on construction, tubular, plate and extended surface and regenerative type. So these are the types which is having the construction based heat exchangers: double pipe shell and tube and spiral and tube, plate, frame, spiral, lamella, and these are the names we can, nowadays the name also got changed. Coming to the next one, based on number of fluid, 2 fluid and 3 fluid. So we know that Q equal to UA delta T. U is overall heat transfer coefficient, A is area, delta is change in temperature. So 2 fluid and 3 fluid based on the requirement. So these are the heat exchangers, we can say, and hope you understood what are these concepts. And this based on this heat exchanger type, we can choose the heat exchanger for phase change analysis for understanding the concept. So thank you very much.